Hey everybody, welcome to the Double Stuff Podcast. We are double the hosts, double the topics, and double the fun. And I'm Sarah.
I'm Charity.
And I'm Alan.
I'm Dan.
This is our 150th episode.
Pretty
Ding,
cool.
ding, ding, ding.
Pretty cool.
I know. We've been doing this for officially 3 full years now, which is
4 years.
absolutely amazing.
Yeah.
So I figured, we've been doing this for 3 years. I think we're due for a best of flashback episode.
Every
Clip show.
Every sitcom has one.
Yeah. Charity, you want to talk about your memories with that?
So some of my favorite episodes are obviously the ones that I wrote because
obviously.
I have a special attachment to them. So I really enjoyed our 100th episode. We all love Alan's outtakes. Sometimes it takes him maybe 2 or 3 or
Four or
4 more or
5.
5, whatever
8 or 9.
number to have him gather
Perfection
his
doesn't
thoughts.
appear all at once.
You don't
But,
call you 10 Take Allen for nothing.
I love our game episodes that we do at the end of each series. Fun thing is watching Dan get really competitive, but we all played the Minister's Cat, which is a game that Sarah and I know from Scrooge, that musical.
1970.
Yeah,
musical.
1970 starring Albert Finney. So we always watch it every year. And we finally got to play. We always talk about playing it every year. I have to end my moment with King Allen of Bel Air, Will Smith styled rap that him and his family,
Coming
I'm
on
sure,
MTV
loved.
next.
Which hopefully there's a music video to come soon. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
Celebrating our 100th
Yay!
episode of the show. No, milestone. Yes.
Triple digit, man.
How do we feel after reaching this big milestone?
It's been a blast. It's
Yeah.
a lot of fun. I still have a lot of fun with you guys.
Oh, yeah.
And I can't believe that we've done 100 episodes.
It's hard to believe it's like been 2 years.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, well, I still remember our beginning conversations of, hey, let's start a podcast. And now we've got 100 epepisodes to back us up.
Pew, pew, pew.
Noisemaker.
I know.
He's doing like Star Wars.
Whatever you would think that your life would be as far as better that it would take. I'm messing up
start
this
that
ending.
sentence?
Yeah, you want to say that again?
I'm messing
Start
it
it
all
over.
up. All right. Well, with that being said, whatever your dreams are, shoot for the stars. Why not? But remember to
Shooting for stars costs money.
That's right. And you're going to need a lot to get to it. I don't know how to end this
Are
one.
you trying to say something like, it's okay to aim for the high
There you go.
life, but be thankful for what you have?
I like it.
Oh,
okay.
yeah.
All right.
So
Another
take
clap.
3. Okay, it's calm faces.
Well, whatever your dreams are, make sure that you are thankful for what you have and where you are right now. And you know what? Shoot for the stars anyway. See how far you can get. And that's what we're doing. Is that not okay? No, should we do another one? No. That's what we're doing.
I mean, to be honest, we should keep all the takes in there because they were terribly funny. Time is money, and we just spent 21 minutes worth. Well, we're going to play an old Victorian parlor game. Let's see if we can do the Minister's Cat. So basically how the game is played, we all 4 going around, we give ourselves a rhythmic clap, and we're going to say the Minister's Cat is a adjective of some sort, but it's going to be alphabetical.
Here we go. Ready?
Yeah.
The Minister's Cat is an Appalachian cat.
The Minister's Cat is an adventurous cat.
The Minister's Cat is an angry cat.
Oh, the Minister's Cat's an adorable cat.
The Minister's Cat is a behemoth of a cat.
Minus a million points for Alan.
Hopefully that would work.
Why couldn't I have just said a big cat?
Right there.
Now, this is a story all about how my lawn got flipped, turned upside down, and I'd like to take a minute, just sit right there, and I'll tell you why I'm called King Allen of Bel Air. Near northeast Wichita, 5th of May. In the front yard is where I spend most of my days. mowing, weeding, singing my tunes, trying to finish up all before noon when a couple of shrooms, they were up to no good, started replicating in my neighborhood. They let a few of their spores into the air and said, we're going to take over the city of Bel Air. I started getting shaky and nervous with fear. I didn't want those mushrooms moving in here, messing up our perfect lawns from here to there. So then I shouted, I'll save Bel Air. I pulled out my spray and killed 7 or 8, and I yelled to the shrooms, don't duplicate. I looked at my lawn, pumped my fist in the air, and put on my crown as the king of Bel Air.
Great song. What did your
love it.
family think of that? Did they ever hear it?
Of course.
They're waiting,
better.
they're waiting for the actual
Yeah.
music video to drop.
Oh, that'd be so fun. You and your girls need to make a music video.
It's a hit single. Yeah, very single.
One hit wonder.
Definitely, it's a wonder
Yeah.
it's a hit. Yeah.
That was spawned from a really good episode that we did in the first season, or was it second? I can't remember.
I want to say it was second. Is it second or third?
Yeah, and I think that we were at that time just kind of thinking about what the topics were. We were trying to figure out the show. We were
Yeah.
trying to figure out what was going to drive the show before we kind of came up with our formula. And I was like, don't worry about it. And everyone was like, what does that mean? And I was like, we'll just talk about grass. And you guys said that it couldn't be done. But let me
Lots
tell
of
you
doubt.
something.
I was a non-believer.
Yeah.
I was like,
I can talk about anything for a while.
like I said, I'm still surprised. That's one of our most listened to episodes, and that still gets me.
Well, because
We got a
you
lot
know,
of dads listening, probably.
Maybe
Of
so.
course, and it just really speaks to the heart of the human condition.
Oh, okay.
And it answers
So
a lot
dramatic.
of the meaning crisis in life.
Oh, okay. let's go back and take a listen to
Let's
Alan's
do it.
crisis.
Why not? I want to talk about lawn care.
Lawn care.
Yeah, as in grass, as in the area around your house.
Stimulating conversation.
I think way too much about it, but I also see it as like a flex.
I love looking at pictures of like those huge castles or those
Oh,
big
yeah.
estates, and you do look at the lawn, and it's just perfect.
Wait.
That's-
You're talking about
that's
a
the
castle
ultimate
and you're
flex.
looking at the lawn.
If the
No.
topic is on castles,
Yeah.
I'll say I'll look at the castle first. The topic's on lawn care, so I'm going
That's
to look
right.
at the lawn care first.
Yeah, 'cause
that's
it-
how that works in this podcast episode.
When we were at Versailles, I mean, part of the tour was touring the gardens.
But that's different than someone's front yard.
I don't
in
think
their
so,
house.
though, because
Oh, well,
you're the
it's-
king of your own castle, and then these are your grounds.
That's a stretch, dude.
Thanks,
No.
Alan. Thank you for that support.
No, I don't
King
think
Allen
so.
of Bel Air.
And you will bow when you enter the door.
So what will our role be in your domain?
Oh, you can come and visit.
Court jester.
Come and visit. Oh,
From the neighboring kingdom.
You may pass.
We're the ones who take care of the yard.
that's what it's going to turn out being. He's like, oh, it's the lawn girl. Go out to the lawn, lawn
So
girl.
that is secretly what this is all about.
I'm
need
gaining
help.
empire.
I need help with my yard.
I have not been able to locate that article.
Oh, with the apples? If we're not able to, we can find something else.
Oh,
'cause-
you could just make stuff up, Dan. Nobody knows
Did
that.
you know apples are
The Yagasabi
purple?
apple? That one's delicious. That's the apple that's grown inside a pear, and then you split the pear to eat the apple.
And then there's another apple inside. It's the nesting apple.
Yeah, inside that is a grape.
What kind of crossbreeding are we doing here?
And it only grows in the highest mountains of Mount Fuji.
Mount Fuji. I was going to say Mount Fuji.
I'd eat that. Today we are doing a spelling bee.
I'm definitely going to win
So,
this.
okay, Alan, you have the word cantankerous, stubbornly obstructive and unwilling to cooperate.
K-A-N-T-A-N-K. R-I-O-U-S. Oh, Dan,
Is
you
it
want to
Dan?
steal?
Oh, I didn't know which direction we were going.
Want to see? Okay, cantankerous. Daniel.
I feel like I should give you a little bonus point for that one.
It's R-O-C-K.
Can I be honest? There was a brief second when I thought about doing that, and I was like, I better not spell my own name wrong.
We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
Aw, carolers! What a nice way to spread Yuletide cheer.
Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding. Oh, bring us some figgy pudding and bring it right here.
Very nice.
We won't go until we've got some. We won't go until we've got some. We won't go until we've got some. So bring it right here.
Okay.
We won't go until we got some. We won't go until we
Okay,
got some.
hold it. You just sang that.
We won't go until we got some. We won't go until we
Okay,
got some.
quiet. Are you seriously suggesting that you won't leave my house until I give you figgy pudding?
We need it to power through the cold 16th century English night.
Well, it's modern day America, surprisingly warm weather for December, and all I can give you is bottled water.
We won't go until we got some. We won't go until we got some.
Quiet! I told you I don't have figgy pudding.
Maybe you have figgy ingredients like figs?
Even I know there aren't figs in a traditional figgy pudding.
Yeah, Alan, brush up on your history.
We at least need the fat of mutton.
I don't have mutton.
Well, do you have eggs, brown sugar, breadcrumbs, spices, and dried fruit?
And don't forget the brandy.
Really? Some of that stuff I can't even eat. This song's not very inclusive to vegans.
Dan, you're singing the song, not eating it.
Look, all I have is bottled water. Take it or leave it.
Fine.
Okay, here you go. You should go over to Miss Warble's house. It's way down at that corner.
Does she have pudding?
Yes.
Figgy?
Tapioca.
That works for me.
I hope it's dairy free.
Oh, don't worry. It will be free if you sing long enough.
Look, she's walking out the door right now. Come on. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you a Merry Christmas. We wish you
Sorry, Miss Warble. They're your problem now. Oh, my figgy pudding's done.
You know, those Christmas episodes are always like a lot of fun. And
Those
I know,
are my favorites.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah, absolutely. I think one of my favorites was the Victorian Ghost one.
Oh, I
Yay!
Just because of our accents. I think that was the biggest thing about it. Yeah.
do say more.
So I really like that. I really actually, and this isn't going to come to no surprises to anyone, but the Ode to Just a Minute game that we
Yeah.
play.
Yes.
I feel like this whole, all of my favorites come from where we're unlike a sitcom where I think we've gotten better as we've gone on.
Yeah,
right?
oh, for sure.
You know, whereas like a sitcom, if it goes on too long, it kind of gets worse over time.
Yeah.
So I really liked our third Ode to Just a Minute.
We actually
segment.
had the horn on that one.
That's
what
true,
made
and that was a big thing too.
that's what made it fun.
That was a huge disruptor. So
Your competitive side comes out
it comes out in the big
during
way.
Just a Minute. Oh, yeah.
Competitive, also, I think my most creative. I think I'm like just a flat board most of the time.
That's true.
And
I
it was
get
just
involved
like,
in the story.
How do I make up something really bizarre and strange to get you guys to laugh? So
Yeah.
I like that. And then, of course, you know, we have these, people might not know, our YouTube channel has a lot of our after hours segments.
Oh, yeah.
And they're short. They're usually like 30 seconds. It's all the stuff you don't hear.
Yeah.
But you should.
You should.
You'll want to hear
Or
it.
in
It doesn't,
between.
it's not always
No.
naughty. Because the name kind of implies that maybe it's, you know, up late at night or
Yeah.
something like that. But it's
Exactly.
not always naughty.
It's not
Yeah.
always naughty.
Except for the hamster
Sometimes
one.
Hey, naughty.
The hamster and then Alan's dolphin story. was
What you have to do is listen to all of them to find out which ones
Which
are naughty and
ones?
which
Yeah,
ones are nice. But before we get into all of those, I really enjoyed talking with you guys recently about the movies. I thought that
yeah.
was just such a blast. Let's call it a backdoor pilot for a different podcast, a second podcast, if
Right.
you will.
Yeah,
So I
yeah.
think we're going to go ahead and take a listen to that now. Variety had done a top 100 greatest films of all time as sort of as a celebration for over 100 years of film. And
Yeah.
I didn't even realize Variety, they said they were around for like 117 years.
As time goes by, more modern films will be added to the list, but there's some that I hope still stands the test of time. And for me, I always hope that Wizard of Oz is on there, Singing in the Rain.
I mean, there were some that were on there that I feel like they're important. And
Yeah.
They drive a genre.
Exactly. Or
Yeah.
they were like, you know, of their time, they were like the thing that kind of moved the industry forward in a certain direction.
Was this list based on order of importance, or was it just here's 100 movies?
I can't tell the difference.
I'm not sure. I'm not
I
sure what
don't
the
know if
criteria
it's like
was.
this is the best and 100 is the worst.
You're putting together a list like this. I'm sure that there were a lot of compromises.
We do have to make our own
We
list
need a
on this
double
one.
stuff
Speaking of
podcast top
adaptation.
100 list of movies.
A double stuff top 100.
Yeah, we could make a better one.
Absolutely. We should put it together on a show. Like just go through like even
Oh,
top 10.
yeah.
Even if we go to
Ooh.
100,
And then
just
send
like
it
a
to the
top 10.
variety committee, and then they can make a podcast about our list.
That's right.
And just completely trash it.
Dear Variety, this is why you're totally wrong. When we were in Paris, like there wasn't a whole lot of options for us to eat stuff. So like we would go to the little cart that they would pull out onto the street or whatever and make crepes.
Yeah.
So you actually went
walk
like to
around with
the local vendor.
Yeah,
and all
but it
that.
was just like, no, I'm not going to pay all that money for like escargot and like,
and that's
Coke
what
or whatever.
the vendors that cash in on for the tourists who are trying to save a few bucks.
Their stuff probably isn't nearly as processed as our stuff.
Monsieur, we don't sell spoiled food. And
That's right. Everyone here is happy.
sorry, France.
It's like French Godzilla.
I don't think that works quite the same way.
With the beret and the striped shirt. He's not even roaring because he's like miming, right? So he's not even making a sound.
Godzilla stuck in the box.
Godzilla played by Marcel Marceau.
Godzilla shows up and they're like, Sacre Bleu!
Somehow it's become a tradition here. We always play a random game called Just a Minute. Basically, the object of the game is that we're given 60 seconds on a topic. But if you start deviating from the topic, someone in the group or someone of us has to acknowledge that,
Right.
like give a beep. Okay, the next topic will be Saucy Decoy McGee.
3, 2, 1.
Saucy.
I just wanted to toot my horn.
25 points for enduring assault. That was a honk assault.
A honk assault?
I got a honk assault.
I never get to honk the horn.
Got honked.
Of all the insolent, impudent things,
What is it now?
we are being referred to as ghosts.
We are ghosts.
Yes, but I don't like it.
I prefer Victorian apparition. It suits us much better than mere ghosts.
Ghosts are for All Hallows Eve, not the Yuletide season.
We're not so far removed from our ancestors, which were known for telling scary stories around Christmas time.
One taste of your famous Christmas pudding, and I would not be able to tell one scary story from another.
When the servants are off and I must fend for myself, I find that I'm a remarkably good cook.
Shall we enjoy more of your Christmas pudding this year?
Alas, it shan't happen this year. I experienced quite a mishap whilst visiting Lord Smitherton.
He told us of his meeting with Queen Victoria. A special pudding was present at supper, but with a twist. A bowl of raisins with just a tipple of brandy was set on fire.
Fascinating. What was the point of this activity?
Yes, do tell.
Apparently, it was to extract as many raisins from the bowl as possible. Sounded like a dangerous game, but Lord Smitherton wanted to recreate this activity.
And what happened? As if we can't already predict.
Well, Lord Smitherton presented us with a bowl of raisins absolutely drenched in brandy.
It was not drenched, 'twas merely a tipple.
Knowing Lord Smitherton, a tipple is an understatement.
Whether drenched or tippled, the bowl of raisins burst into flames.
Oh, what a sight.
Indeed, the fire happened so quickly, I had no time to react. It burned a lock of my hair and singed my dress. Lord Smitherton tried to extinguish me by dumping the bowl of Christmas punch over my head. The fire was out, but I looked affright.
I'm positive you looked afraid. And you didn't want to tell a scary story.
Well, I never.
You guys have some really good flashbacks so far. It's cool to hear everybody's memories and everything. See, for me, I guess probably because I listen to these the most, I like all of them. So trying to narrow it down for me was a little bit difficult. But I decided I finally was able to narrow it down. So one of my favorite episodes is actually, I believe it was season 2 or thereabout, which when we were talking about travel, and this happened during COVID, so we were trying to add travel to it.
Aww.
So it was us talking about, what we used to go and places and go have fun in hotels for no apparent reason at all. One of my favorite after hours, actually one of our newer ones, is actually had to do with you, Alan, when you were talking about your wife had that dream that you knew some other woman, and you were like, "What? That was a dream."
Oh,
It was called the Who's Joanna, which was a fun after hours. I just the back and forth with that. That's a funny premise in itself.
That's a good story.
It is. And then for my favorite game, it was, we need to do this again, when we had the social media quizzes and we were like tallying up our votes.
Oh yeah, it was fun.
Yeah, and so that one's actually titled Saucy Decoy McGee because that's how it ended. We were trying to figure out what my nickname was. Of course, I'm also biased with our Christmas sketches. It's fun doing something scripted. And one of my new favorite was the Jingle Bells one, just because, I don't know, Christmas songs, and I just liked how everything kind of unfolded.
And because COVID-19 probably ruined a lot of vacation plans this year, we are going to discuss travel.
My wife and I, we were just like, let's go to Oregon. So we just bought a ticket, flew to Seattle, and then drove down to Oregon and just kind of did whatever we wanted to. No plans or anything like that.
Our favorite place to vacation and take like just a long weekend trip was to San Diego's KOA. They have campsites that are for tenting, and they have it also for RVs, and then they also have cabins, and it was right on the bay there.
So sort of like a staycation.
Kind
almost.
of, yeah. You don't have to go too far to have a good little vacation.
Yeah, staycations are very underrated. I've often got like a hotel room and just did something with myself for the weekend.
Bingo.
And,
that's a very adulting mindset, because I know when I was a kid, I'm like, I'm not going to stay here. The whole point of going to travel is to get out of this state. But now I'm like,
get out of the house, at least walk down the street to the
me
hotel.
and Charity stay at a hotel literally around the corner from the house. Just so we can be like, oh, hotel beds, continental breakfast.
My wife woke up the other night and she was like, "Who's Joanna?" And I was like, "I don't know." She said, "Wrong answer." And I was like, "I don't know a Joanna." And I was like, "Well, where did this come from?" She goes, "From my dream last night." I was like, "You cannot hold me to a dream. That's crazy."
She's paraphrasing Reservoir Dogs. She's like, "You cheat on me in a dream, you better wake up and apologize."
That's right.
You need to turn it back on her, being like, "Who is Michael?"
Okay, that's
like,
two fabrics now. You said Joanne, and I was like, fabrics? And then you said Michael, and I was like, wait a second.
A few months ago, me and Charity went to Barnes & Noble, and we randomly saw this book. It's called Awesome Social Media Quizzes. Within each quiz, there are 10 questions.
Okay.
They're multiple choice, and they all go by A, B, C, D, or E, and they have different quantities of numbers. We add it up, and we figure out what kind of a person we really are. Okay, so we added up all the numbers based off the questions we were asked, and then I'm going to give you the result. So did anybody get 18 to 25?
Me,
What number were you?
24.
You are a whale.
Oh,
Wow, that
Dang.
cuts deep. I'm not sure if I was ready for that one.
You're a whale. You are a gentle, intelligent whale. You're a free-spirited and caring person who loves to travel.
That's true.
Well, what's funny is that I got 24 as well. So whale as well.
As whale.
I got 24 as well. So I'm also a whale. So we got the two whales.
You're a fat, blubbery tub of lard.
Yeah, I think that's the description was like, "Oh, okay, maybe you should lead up," and then guess what your animal is.
Excuse me, are you James Lord Pierpont?
I am. You must be Fanny Bright.
You are correct.
A pleasure, Miss Bright. 6 o'clock precisely. I like a date that's punctual. Shall I help you onto my one-horse open sleigh?
Of course. Goodness gracious, your poor horse. Is he unwell?
There's nothing wrong with him.
Are you sure?
Never fear. He's safe. With just a little... And we're on our way.
He seems safe enough.
All is well. Now that we're in motion, I wanted to show you a song I have written.
One horse open sleigh. An apt title for a song. Now the ground is white. Go it while you're young. Take the girls tonight and sing this sleighing song. Oh, Mr. Pierpont, you're making me blush. Such shocking lyrics for a Christmas song.
I have no intention of making this a Christmas song. There are too many songs about that holiday. Besides, it's the 1850s. These lyrics will hardly raise an eyebrow. I may even teach it to some of my students for music class.
I do like the rest of the lyrics. You reference your horse, I see.
He is a goodly horse.
I would not call him goodly. Your horse is lean and lank. Misfortune seems his lot.
He may look scrawny, but he's the best racing horse I have.
Racing horse?
Prepared to be exhilarated. Yeah!
Oh, we're going too fast!
Don't you love it? Dashing through the snow in a one-horse open sleigh. Over the fields we go, laughing all the way.
You're the only one laughing. Stop this horse at once.
I can't. The momentum is too strong.
You must stop. Another driver's headed this way. Don't hit him.
Yes, sir. Get out of the way.
He can't hear you. Jingle the bells. Jingle them all the way.
He's not stopping, and neither is my horse.
Watch out for that drifted bank.
Ah! Are you all right, Miss Bright? An accidental rhyme, but a sincere question.
I believe so. Oh, my beautiful dress is ripped and torn to shreds.
Are you upset?
Yes, I'm upset.
But are you upset?
What?
Well, upset doesn't rhyme. What do you think of this? The horse was lean and lank. Misfortune seemed his lot. We got into a drifted bank, and then we got upset.
Are you still going on with that absurd Christmas song?
It's not a Christmas song, and I'll pay for the damages to your dress.
You most certainly will.
And I'll write you into my song. It's the least I can do.
Oh, what fun. So yay, Merry Christmas, everybody, even though it's nowhere near December. Another cool thing that we started doing, we haven't done it often just because of the way we're set up, but every once in a while we have guests. And it's actually kind of worked out that all of our guests, actually except for Sierra Scott.
I was going to say Sierra, special shout out to her.
Yeah, all of our guests have been family members aside from Sierra. It seems kind of be like, who is your favorite guest? Well, I guess it's all of ours because we had somebody within our family realm.
Course.
So I figured it's only appropriate to showcase the random guests that we've had over the past few years.
Yeah. Today we landed on art, and luckily I happen to know an artist, and she's my wife. Her name is Mac. Hello, Mac.
Hello, everyone.
Yay!
So excited she's here.
Yeah, we have
Excited to be here. Thank you for inviting me.
we got a guest in the midst.
We do. Take us back to your first introduction into art.
I was born into the arts. Both my parents are artists and architects by trade. I knew from the beginning that I wanted to be an artist. Not an art teacher, which I am now, but I did know that I wanted to be an artist.
Oh, very good. And so where did you go to art school?
I went to the same art school that you did.
That's true. That's where I met her. That's where I met
How
her.
quickly you forget.
What a coincidence.
That's true.
She got education and a husband. Man, I did it wrong.
I was like, I did it wrong too. I don't know if I need to go back to school.
Yeah, I
or
know. I
something.
got to do this again.
As you may know from listening to our show, none of us are what you would call philosophers. So we decided to bring in an expert today.
We're not smart.
You're just going to start us off saying we're all dumb.
Now, I want to introduce my brother-in-law, Dr. Rob Byer.
Hello, everybody. I'm excited to be here. I have a bachelor's degree in literature and a bachelor's degree in philosophy from Fort Hays State University here in Kansas. I got my master's degree and my PhD in both in philosophy from the University of Oklahoma in Norman, Oklahoma. I remember listening to the episode where you guys talked about the apples. The weirdest thing about apples is their method of reproduction, right? So if you take like a Granny Smith apple and you take the seeds and plant them, you're not going to get a tree that produces Granny Smith apples. What happens is the seeds like do some kind of genetic recombination and produce a different thing. So
Interesting.
I don't know. I think that's fascinating.
It is really cool.
And I was like, oh man, I wish I was on their podcast so I could talk to them about apple reproduction. But
And now look where you're at. Keep your aspirations high, kids.
yeah,
Right.
Someday you can be on our podcast talking about
Apple
fruit reproduction. Today we have, drumroll please,
Christy Harmon. That happens to be our other sister.
We've mentioned you off and on for like the past
Like 2
years. Or 2 years. So I was like, okay, maybe we should probably have her actually on.
sister.
Yeah. Tell us, Christy, what do you do?
I do part-time personal training, and I'm also like part-time retail because I sell like, sports supplements and stuff. I'm going to culinary school to kind of also help with like my nutrition side of things with the sports industry stuff. And I'm going to be trying to start to get my pilot's license next year. So all the things. Whoever needs to get in
fly
shape.
to you and cook you dinner and give you a workout.
Yeah, all in one day.
And I'll give you some supplements so you can recover.
Some of the funnest things that we've had is when we have our chance meetings where we all happen to be in the same place at the same time. Me and Charity were actually shopping together, and then over like 3 or 4 aisles down, we heard Christy with that.
Christy's laugh.
You couldn't miss it. I'm like,
very distinct, loud laugh.
And it was funny because she was talking to somebody, and all of a sudden, me and Charity come in from different aisles, and the guy's like, "Oh, there's 3 of you!" Like we ambushed him or something.
We practically did ambush him.
We have a special guest, so I want to
special. I get a special in front of it.
Yes, of course.
Wow.
We want to introduce the great Sierra Scott
The one and
to
only.
the Double Stuff Podcast, everybody. So for the people who don't know who you are, you want to introduce yourself? Tell us who you are.
Absolutely. I came to Wichita in about 2001, and I've worked about every TV station you could imagine.
Yeah.
And now I'm working at PBS Kansas with a show called Positively Kansas, which I call the Anti-News. It's happy, it's good stories, it's positive people that are doing good things. I actually graduated recently from Police Academy. I went to the academy, and we actually had to spend time in jail and eat jail food. So, I've done everything, y'all.
Okay.
Did you get a mugshot too?
No. And, I wish I would have done that.
Sierra.
But I will tell you why I was in there. This was funny. One of my, the person that brought me along left me in the jail to go use the restroom. Mm-hmm. And one of the guards came up and grabbed me by, she goes, "How did you get out?" And I'm like, I didn't. It's not. I swear.
It's the other guy. I swear.
That's usually the plot for a film where you look vaguely like the escaped convict.
It sounds like the start of a comedy. A little switcheroo.
She's like, man, I look terrible in black and white stripes.
Oh, that is not black or orange. I'm not a good person in orange either.
Here's the new black.
I feel like if you did have an orange jumpsuit, like you would bedazzle it or something.
I would.
Yeah.
I'd have to. Oh, seriously. I would go
You'd
through.
be this beautiful jailbird, like bedazzled orange jumpsuit, like Vegas style. Yeah.
You are absolutely right.
Oh, man.
Maybe that's my new Halloween costume for next year.
This house has a really gross smell.
No worse than your room.
My room does not smell.
Yes, it does.
Calm down, you two. Both of you could stand to clean your room when you get home. This is an old-fashioned house, and it's damp. The sooner we get help, the sooner that we can get out of here.
This house is so old. I doubt we'll even find a phone in here.
Not a phone you'd recognize. Look for one of those old Victorian phones like we saw in the museum last week.
Dad, I think there's something behind this door, but I can't get it open.
Let me try. Jeepers!
Was that a ghost? Dad, this is getting too weird. Let's get out of here.
Wait, we need to be careful. We can't just run into the darkness without knowing who's out there. You girls stay behind me. I'll scare off whoever that is.
Here, Dad, take this.
What am I gonna do with an umbrella?
It's the only thing we can find.
So that's our episode, guys. Our flashback, typical sitcom
We've done a lot.
recollection. Yeah, 150 shows. Yeah. Oh my gosh.
And we still like each other. We don't hate each other's guts.
That's
true.
Or at least if we do, we're hiding it very well.
We're very good actors.
Yeah, we're black belts at hiding it. If that's the case. Yeah.
No, I love that we still have fun. Our stuff still doesn't have like the weird overly political stuff. Like it's just ridiculous. And ridiculousness kind of makes for fun entertainment. So yeah, but thank you guys for joining us on this 150 episode, and hopefully you'll join us for 150 more, which will be 300 episodes once we get to that point.
I thought you were trying to calculate the year. I was like, just
no.
Life is short. We don't have time for that.
So take a listen to all of our episodes. They're all on our website at doublestuffpod.com. You can also listen to them all on our YouTube page at Double Stuff Podcast, and of course we're available on Facebook and Instagram at Double Stuff Podcast, and of course on Twitter at Double Stuff P, and that's the letter P.